This week, ABC 7 News reporter Sam Ford has been sharing with us his experience of traveling to West Africa to find his roots. He learned where to go when a geneticist compared Sam's male DNA to an African database that linked him to the Yoruba people of Nigeria. And Sam concludes tonight with a look at that country and also what they think of us Americans. Sam?
Kathleen, we've heard Africans complain that about the only time that their countries get on American television is if there is a war, a coup, or a famine. But most of them live what they consider to be ordinary lives as we do here. Well, as we conclude our series, we're going to look at some aspects of life in Nigeria, a place that DNA tests suggest could have been my home. If my ancestor had avoided slavery, I would likely be dressing like this.
Look at this color.
I wanted to dress in the traditional way. My guide in Ibadan, Kumi, took me first to the cloth merchant, then to the tailor across the street, who took my measurements. He said it would be ready in hours, the suit the Yorubas have worn for centuries. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, is a nation of contrasts between old and new. Lagos is a city of modern skyscrapers and traffic jams, suburban sprawl, and crowded beaches. Ibadan's an ancient African city, yet it still has modern communications towers, crowded internet cafes. With DNA linking me to the Yoruba here, I wondered what life would be like were I a middle-class Nigerian. In Ibadan, I met the Adiwumis, Timothy in the printing business, his wife Doris, who has a cloth shop. Their lives are church, which they attend 4 to 5 times a week, education. The children are all in boarding school or college, and Timothy's up to his neck in debt, but says it's necessary.
Well, the most important thing in my life is my family.
But there are issues that I don't have, like another wife and kids. Now, are you friends with the other wife?
No.
You don't like her? The children insist there's no friction between them and their other siblings.
We used to play, we used to go out together.
And one of the daughters arrived while we were there.
Yes, I'm a proud daddy. I love them.
These daughters from different wives attend the same university. We later met the son from the other marriage as the family walked us to the car and wished us well.
Thank you so much for the hospitality.
I then went back to get my Yoruba clothes to dress like the ancestors.
So do I look like a Yoruba man? That's the question. What do you think? Do I look like a Yoruba man?
You really even look like a chief, one of the chiefs in Yoruba land.
I look like a chief in the Yoruba land.
It seemed that on the streets of Ibadan, I blended right in. Well, it was a wonderful experience going to Nigeria to find my roots. Originally, I was apprehensive about going there, given some of the stories I had heard about Nigeria. But for me and camerawoman Peggy Gilgannon, the Nigerians were gracious and helpful, particularly when they found out that we were there seeking to better understand them.
I think this is a life dream for so many people to go back and find their roots. You've shown us how it's possible. How expensive would that be if you decided to save up for a trip like that?
Well, Kathleen, I think it would be pretty expensive, and Nigeria, of course, is probably a more difficult country to go to than some. But if you were going to go, for example, to a place like Ghana, I would say get on a tour and go to that country. That would be a good way to do it. If you were going to go to Nigeria, where they really don't have as many tours and things like that, I'd say you would save up and get yourself what they call a fixer. And it's probably going to cost you 3 or 4 times what it would cost to go to London.